Now let's make some noise for Ewan. Ooh!
Alright guys. Hey, you ever been to a Korean barbecue restaurant? Yeah, it's kind of unique in that you pay to cook your own meat. Alright? If you pay a little extra, you can wash your own dishes and take out the trash. Yeah, I went to Mount Boley this past weekend. I learned that it wasn't always called Mount Boley though. Back when the mountain was like younger and more hopeful, it was known as Mount Rogaine. Yeah, whatever. One of my buddies told me that he said scratching your head is what makes you go bald, you know? Yeah, but I don't think so because my balls are still hairy as hell. Yeah, one of my buddies is a white dude. He's like super duper white. I think it's like part albino or some shit. Hey, you know, he's so white that when he comes to my house, all my plants start growing in his direction. And, you know, whenever I have sex, like, it never lasts as long as I'd like to, you know? I'm always like, come on, penis, hang in there. It's always just like, nah, screw this. Blech. Yeah, I used to go to water parks every summer, you know? But then one summer I had a fairly traumatic experience, so I stopped going. Yeah, when I was 16, I was at Raging Waters. And I'm waiting on these stairs, you know, to go on this slide. And I look up, and the girl next to me, she's about the same age as me, and her boobs are like right in my face, you know? And it's kind of cold and windy, right? So her like nipples are popping out. So I was like, oh, okay. So I turn, but now this girl here, her face is like right in my junk, you know? And I already got a partial woody going on, right? Because the nipple girl over here. But then this girl here, she like yawns and shit, you know? So I was like, oh my God, you know? It's fucking full boner then and shit. Like I almost popped her in the fucking eye and shit. And I was like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here, you know? So I just like ran up the stairs and shit. And apparently it's pretty common in Raging Waters because the lifeguard was like, come on, just go, you know? So I got up there, I got up to the slide, I got out of there and shit. And I was like, man, they really need to rename this place. And it's called Raging Boners. Why didn't the oyster share his food?
Why?
He's shellfish.
Huh.
There's this dude, right, he's a sailor, and he gets hired aboard this ship, you know? And so they're sailing around for about 6 months, and so he's talking to his buddies like, hey, when do we go back into port, you know? Getting kind of horny out here. And the dude's like, oh no, we're not going to go back into port for like another 6 months. And he's like, well, you know, I can't wait that long. It's like, well, have you tried the barrel? I'm like, no, what's that? So he takes him to this room, there's a barrel in there, there's a little hole in the barrel. I'm like, well, there you go. So he's like, all right, so he tries it out, you know, he's like fucking the barrel shit. And it works really well, you know? And so he's talking to his buddy later, he's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, you know, that barrel's fucking awesome. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna use it every day. And he's like, oh, you mean every day but Sunday, right? He's like, oh, you can't use it on Sunday? He's like, well, you can, but Sunday's your day in the barrel, so. And what do you call a guy that can make a business suit real fast? Taylor Swift. And you know, I think Pride Month needs a mascot. And I got the perfect one. The flamingo. Right? They got pink feathers. They love to dance, you know. They're like a peaceful, non-predatory type bird. Yeah, they only eat like brine shrimp and like algae and stuff. Nobody gives a damn about brine shrimp. And you know what group of flamingos is called?
What?
They're not called a flock. No, they're called a flamboyance. How big is that, right? It's like all the best parts of Pride Month, all wrapped up into one animal and stuff. And even the name flamingo is flaming O. Like, flaming O? It's just a burning butthole. And you know, normally when a guy brags about how big his junk is, it's usually the opposite, right? It's usually really small shit. I was talking to a guy the other day, he's like, oh man, my dick's so big, I'm hung like a horse. I was like, yeah, like a seahorse. I think Shaquille O'Neal's like the happiest man on earth. You know, like he's always so jolly, and like everyone just loves him, right? And I think it's because he's never been bullied. Yeah, like how you gonna mess with someone who's so tall that his crotch is in your face? It's like, hey Shaquille, give me your fucking lunch money. Never mind. And you know that thing going around where if you're a bear or if you're a lady and you're alone in the woods, would you rather run into a bear or a strange man? And a lot of women are choosing the bear, you know? I think that's just ignorance of bear knowledge. Yeah. Because I ran into a bear alone in the woods once. Yeah. And he fucked the shit out of me. Yeah, you know, scientists for the first time reported earlier this year 2 male humpback whales having sex. Yeah. Warner Brothers already going to make a movie about it. And they're going to call it Humpback Mountain. That's weird how language changes over time, right? Like nowadays, if a guy came up to me and told me he was going to blow my brains out, I wouldn't know whether to run away or pull my pants down. Yeah, I've had sex with all different types of women, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. In my opinion, Asian women give the best blowjobs. Okay? If any of you ladies like to prove me wrong, you can meet me in the bathroom after my set. Yeah, I was watching this Bigfoot show the other day. It struck me as how dedicated these Bigfoot hunters were. And, you know, they're so devoted to something that might not even be real. Like comedians in their careers.
Oh, shit.
You know, comedians will always tell you 2 things, right? They'll always tell you when they just got booked on a show. And they'll always tell you when they just had sex. That's a bit juvenile, right? Like myself, I haven't been booked on a show in over a month. But I did get late last week, so whoa!
Yeah.
I'm out of here. Thank you.
Alright, you are good. Alright, thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's kind of the fight a little bit.